Is it ever truly fine?
It's always truly fine. Don't at me, okay? Okay.
Only
Okay.
one mental breakdown per session.
Alright. So, in a large city, there is a powerful corporation called Portable Potions.tm. It is a subset of the almost monopolistic AMC Inc., where they create what is said on the tin, or corporation in this case, they create portable potions. It's actually you two. I don't know why I didn't edit that. You two are employees watching the annual show off show from literally the worst seats in the house. Tell me, what major or minor offense did you make that made your supervisors send you to these seats?
Oh god.
And also, by the way, introduce your name.
Okay. Hi, I'm Owl, and I'm playing a game because it's fun. And Tim's offense was that his performance review was too average.
Tim.
uh, so, hi. I didn't actually think this far in. I'm Cam. Uh, Give me a second. I'd have to think that whoever I'm playing, they're unknown worker in PR, and they just aren't good with dealing with people in the slightest. They've just been like really snippy and passive aggressive, and they're like, "That's not no. You're not using your customer service face." So,
Passive aggressiveness, it'll get you every time. What was their name again?
I have not thought of one, so I'm just gonna go with Joan because that's the first one that came to my head.
Alright, so we've got Jim and Tim. That will not be confusing in the slightest.
That's not.
I'm like, oh god, that's definitely what Tim called her first. Hi, Jim.
Okay,
She
go
was
ahead and
like, my
type in
name
the
is
chat
fucking
actually what your
Joan.
names are in that case. I feel like I misheard you.
Wait, where?
Just in
Probably
the
the.
Game Zone Part 2, Electric Boogaloo. James! That is not Jim!
I thought it was Joan.
Oh
I
boy.
may have said that, but whatever. It's James now.
James is canon. It's written in the doobly doo. All right. James from PR and Tim from
Or is
accounting.
it HR? Whatever. Same thing.
You gotta pick. Is it
No,
human resources or public resources? Wait,
people
public.
resources.
No, wait. PR is a whole thing. I took a class on this. I have to.
I don't know.
No, I do know what this
Resources
is.
for
PR,
people.
public relations.
People. Is it the same thing?
People resources. Alan, you're killing me.
It's canon now. It's there. It's canon.
Oh
Okay,
man.
so, um, let me see. Sorry, there's gonna be a whole lot of let me sees, because I'm gonna be flip-flopping what screens we're on. And by screens, I mean me, and by on, I mean me. Um, so, the Show Off Show is an annual event where Portable Potions.tm conglomerate lets AMC see all of the new innovations in potions. The final potion shown is a polymorph potion, made almost impossibly cheap this year. What potions are your favorite of the ones that were shown before the grand finale? As you guys were like twisting around the stupid pillar that's in your way to make it the worst seats, and there's literally only two seats. It's so bad. They're like fold out seats and they're really uncomfortable. As you guys like craning your necks around, what's your favorite potion that's a brand new innovation made by portablepotions.tm?
Hmm.
Uh, hmm. James can go first.
Oh wow, they're throwing under the bus. Definitely James. I think James would be very good for anything that involves like voice changing. He doesn't like his voice. He thinks he sounds kind of bad, nerdy, horrible. But those kind of stuff, it'd be enough to screw with people who are being annoying to him and his job area, which is a lot of people, surprisingly, unsurprisingly. Well, yeah, just anything that kind of stuff. anything that would be able to majorly screw with people, like for practical jokes and such. Would be great for him if he could use it, and not have to use his customer service voice all the time.
A truly understandable motivation. Tim.
We all hate retail jobs.
Okay, Tim's favorite potion was an odd sort of little glass container with like a cork like lid, and it's only like about the size of your palm, but if you put it in a special potion machine, it will make you a full cup of this magnificent brown potion that helps you focus better.
Ooh.
Ooh, fancy schmancy.
Yep, and that one was his favorite because they gave out samples.
Oh, see, it's the free samples that'll always get you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now you're hooked. Now you want to use your little company stipend to make sure that you can pay for this instead of some of the other potions they got, because they've got you hooked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, geez.
Anything caffeinated. Accounting is hell.
It's actually just coffee.
That is, I was describing a Keurig machine.
Owled! Owled! Get out of my chat!
No, then you only have one player. You need me.
Do I? I do.
Yes, I'm adorable.
Yeah, you are pretty cute with your little thumbnail. Alright.
Yeah. Is mouse.
Baby.
So, the lights return to the center stage, blocked by that stupid pillar. Suddenly, there's a loud crash, a cat screech, and before you can react, or so much as blink, a massive wave of green goop spills all over you. You feel yourself shifting, perhaps growing in height, maybe shrinking what parts of your face go where, and perhaps most terrifying of all, splitting one of your fingers into two, making 5 fingers on each hand. Drenched entirely in green and somehow still bubbling goop, you look upon yourselves and realize you have been polymorphed. Owled, will you please put into the game zone your already made character sheet? Generic. I'm just gonna call you generic. I promise it's not an insult. Can you go into D&D Beyond? Do you have a D&D Beyond account?
I do, yes.
I would like for you to go into D&D Beyond, create a new character, and I'll continue describing the process as we continue. Just let me know when you've got there.
Cool, got it. Stupid bad internet.
I am still looking. Oh, found it.
5 hours later.
You know, I could just use the search function. Screw that. I don't have
We don't
to
need
use
no
the
stinking search function.
I'm assuming just use the randomized thing. Probably, most likely.
Was that right, Owl?
Yeah, I used the randomizer and then just you put in what level and class that you want, and then it'll do it for you.
I'm assuming level 1. I wasn't actually checking for that earlier.
We're going with level 3 to give you guys just a little more hit points. Just a few. Please don't make me do what happened last time. I was so scared.
Okay.
Yeah, we can't have murders on the company policy.
Yeah, no.
Not yet.
And
Not yet.
what do you mean not yet? The rules of the roost clearly state that I am incapable of killing you. I am not capable. My whole point is one-shots.
You're probably not gonna like this, but I only have 14 hit points anyway. Or Tim is supposed to, I guess.
Yeah.
Only 14 points anyway.
That's what you get for having a wizard whose main skill is accounting.
I mean, valid. Generic, you doing okay?
Oh yeah, I am. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Yes.
Oh no.
Yes.
Hello.
Oh no.
Oh, yes.
Well, I'm just gonna continue saying oh no until I can find what I was supposed to be doing. Okay, yeah.
No, that's a mood.
Yeah.
Honestly valid.
I must stop myself from making the one Adventure Zone joke that I genuinely want to make.
Do it. Do
The
it.
rustic hospitality.
Uh-uh. Yeah.
Hi, Magnus! Okay. I
is
got
on.
it. I'm assuming you should like go.
I can't hear it right now because you aren't calling it, but. Okay. Well, sometimes you can't. It takes a while. Yeah.
Sorry, there's another person in the room.
That's alright.
That's cool.
I'm currently still typing out what's going to happen. So, that tells you how prepared I am.
Well, if she's taking 20 and they have to.
No, that's a big mood.
It's almost done.
Oh, shit, I didn't add those extra stuff.
Oh my god. James from
Yes.
PR. A -2 to intelligence.
Oh,
And charisma,
boy.
so people just do not like him.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, we've got
Oh my god.
James, and we got
I would say that.
Tim.
Yeah, probably.
Though at least he's pretty wise.
I'm doing okay, actually.
So-
I'm doing alright.
James is a paladin. Ooh, oh, look at those stats. Okay, if this were a normal game, no matter what, I would have made you reroll that, but this isn't a normal game. So, you're
Snail
gonna be
is
just
mean.
fine, I promise. I'll take care of you. Alright,
I
so
didn't
Snail
actually
is
put the
mean.
alignment, but-
I'm not normally mean. This is just a very specific
Yeah, I'm not-
thing.
I'm
Listen,
not
you
a
guys got
mean
just
snail.
got
I
dosed with a
scheduled
polymorph
an
potion.
appointment at the Kia
This
dealership for
makes
next
sense that
Thursday,
you're all junked up and
and
stuff.
I'm also
Not good. Not kosher.
yeah for breaks.
The opposite of
Alright.
Gucci.
Yeah, I scheduled that.
So you look upon yourselves both human? Did you guys both happen to be human? That's so
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm doing.
Yeah, Tim is a
$50
human
oil
man.
change,
So
and then
He grew his own
that includes a
skin.
multi-point inspection.
Oh god.
And I'm going to
Didn't he
request,
start out
like,
as a toon kind though?
rate picture,
Or is he
and because
like-
of multi-point
that's what he's
inspection,
supposed
No.
to.
Check and see if
He's straight up a very straight man. Like weird shit
Yeah.
happens in his everyday life all the time, but he's Tim from accounting, so he's used to it. So he's just like the best thing in his life
But yeah,
is
in,
the Keurig
in
machine
place of,
that Acme
having
asked me.
an axle cost like
AMC just
Potion.
invented
place with rotors. The service
the
is
caffeine
gonna cost,
potion that AMC just
like, a
invented,
bit less
and
than that for like a full
there's
axle.
someone in the
So, like,
cubicle
I'm sitting
down
in my
the
apartment.
road from him,
Uh-huh.
and the thing that he hates the most about them is that they hum music too loudly when he's working,
Oh, that's the worst.
even though literally
Yeah.
there's a toon kind who sets off a cannon
That's what I-
every
what I
hour
kinda
on
do
the
before
hour.
I head-
I mean,
Like-
you can predict
California.
that. You can't predict
Yeah.
coming.
hopefully
True.
not stranded.
So Tim's just a normal ass guy, but he's also very much he's the normal guy, my leg type deal.
Yeah. So,
My leg.
Yep.
so what I'm going to say in that case is, James,
I think
you
have
were
something.
a
Yeah.
toon kind, yes?
Yes, very much so.
So you
Yeah.
got
Robot,
the
to be
whole
exact.
brunt of the blow. You feel all of your features shifting. You feel this alien split in your hand, and now you have 5
Okay.
fingers. And you look down and you see
I know that
skin
feeling.
rather than your normal, real stuff. It's like human skin, and it's really
He grew it
weird.
himself.
Gosh, yeah.
James, when the goop like in a literal wave comes across. You manage to jump aside somewhat so you don't get entirely covered, but they're like bits and pieces, and you could just feel things twitching and shifting and getting all wrong.
Love you too, Mom.
And that's why your stats have been randomized. Whatever your stats were, quote unquote, now they are this, and everything still feels weird. Like your magic has just been completely borked. Everything is strange.
Oh boy.
Bork, bork.
Bork.
So as you two are like reeling with this and completely flabbergasted, you keep hearing like various audience reactions of, what happened? I can't believe this! Who would do this? What's going on? Wasn't that the big potion? The really big one? Oh no, he's gonna be really mad! And then you hear footsteps, very loud and very angry, coming from center stage, straight in your direction.
Tim is just like hitting the side of his head trying to get potion goop out, and it's like falling out in like a little spurt. And then he like does that thing where you plug your nose and blow and it comes out both ears.
Uh-huh.
James is very much kind of like still like reeling and trying to get his bearings thing, but the only thing he can really say right now is, I really wish I could change my. I regret every single decision I've ever made in my life. Every single one of them. Every single one. Oh, God.
So you continue, and you see the pillar itself move. You see all the people who were behind the pillar in, like, normal seats where they could actually, like, see stuff. You see all of that get shifted, like, 5 feet. All of them in one solid, smooth motion. And you see perhaps the angriest wizard you have ever seen. He glares at you. He points towards the door, which is the only way out aside from going through him, and he says, "Get out."
Tim gets up and leaves.
Get out! Get out!
He's grunting. He's stumbling and almost falls literally flat in his face because this is obviously horrible, but like I'm out.
Tim, like, it's just, he's walking walking out. And then, he sees James, like, falling, and then, like, fucking just, reaches down and, grabs his elbow and then, like, starts, like, gently dragging him. Like, this is normal. And, he's just like, this happens every Tuesday. And he's just like, come on. Come on, buddy.
So you two leave, perhaps the most angry wizard you've ever seen behind you. And then you suddenly realize you still sort of have a problem. So the big deal this year, as I previously mentioned, was this True Polymorph potion, which was the last potion to be shown. Which means you guys pretty much have an hour to find and use a counterspell, or you're gonna be borked for life.
Oh, no.
And Tim's just like,
This
might as well happen. Adult life is already so goddamn weird.
James is having a mini. I'm not exactly a panic attack, but like, oh god, this is it. This is where my life ends. I had so much I was planning on doing, but not anymore. I have flesh. This is so different from metal.
Jim just pulls out a paper bag and hands it to him.
He's using it very suddenly, just like.
And then he just gently pats the new human's back. And that's when Tim notices that he looks a little, like, weird. Like, he doesn't look exactly like himself anymore because of the polymorph potion. And he's just like, oh, this is new.
I
Way
love
to
Tim.
keep you cool.
Tim's just there.
That's the whole point. He is beige in a black and white world.
I'm
I
glad to see
love
you're
that
keeping your
phrasing.
head. It's beautiful. It's like,
Well, actually, he used to be beige. Now he has like fucking bright blue hair, and his eyes are too big, and he looks like a generic anime protagonist.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
oh god.
All right.
Oh.
I would like both of you to roll an intelligence check.
Oh
Oh
god.
god, what is my bonus for that? I don't remember.
Let me see. I've
My
got your
intelligence is
character
negative
shape.
2.
James is -2.
Is a -2?
And Tim is
Oh.
+1.
Okay, I got it. Hold on a second.
I have to learn how to use this because I didn't actually
Oh yeah.
do
So
that
you do an
beforehand.
you just follow what Owl did, but put your own number
Yeah,
modifier, so that would be -2 for you.
Yeah.
Alright.
Oh god.
So this one, so guys, don't worry. This roll was actually just to make sure, just to see who of you noticed this, because you both have been working at this forever. Because Tim got a 7 and James got a 1. So for y'all who are watching in the future, that would have been bad. But this is just to figure out who remembers this. So there are really going to be 2 places that you can find the counterspell. You can go to Angry Wizard's room because he was the one who created this spell. And obviously, if you create the spell, you have to have the counterspell with you. Or you could ask for help from some of the other wizards who are working on this who are significantly less angry, but they're probably still not entirely happy that this happened. The other thing that you could do is you guys could try to sneak back into the room that you just were in, because they have the recipes laid out so very nicely for the AMC officers on the side. So you can sneak, you can ask for help, or you can go find the spell on your own. Let me ask you, what do you do?
Tim's first reaction is to ask for help, because that's the average thing a person would do. But he's going to defer to James, because that's what he does. He's the straight man. He defers to the other crazy people.
James, well, trying to calm down from this one, is like, okay. Wait, I had a sudden accent for where to go. I am still very much freaking out. Not in a very good place. But possibly asking for help might be... Because I would rather not take my chances with trying to go in there, considering... Yeah, and I don't feel like big old wizard man would be too pleased to see us right now. So maybe people who aren't as angry, but still might be a bit angry, would be our best decision. Hopefully. God.
All right. What's the skill? What's the skill that like rolls for dungeoneering except inside?
Oh, investigation.
Investigation. All right, I need somebody to roll investigation.
Okay, who here like has a bonus to that, or just got
James has a negative, and Tim has a +1. But
Okay, so it's probably the smart idea that Tim starts looking around.
Yeah.
Okay,
James is still like breathing into his paper bag, like. I'll stop panicking in a minute, I swear.
Give me a second. I will be fine.
Tim just he gets up and he brushes off his pants, which are really weird right now because he swears he was wearing khakis before, but now it's like the uniform pants to a boarding school uniform, and he's really confused.
I'm so happy. I love this.
Great.
So, he digs through his pockets, and it turns out that, like, everything he had in there, his wallet and shit, it's missing. So he's like, that's not great.
That's not
So he
great.
decides to look around, because, maybe he dropped it or something, or he doesn't know. This is just weird.
A 3.
We're gonna have good rolls tonight, buddy.
You're just
Oh
getting
god, I
your
love
bad
our
rolls at
stupid
the
rolls.
beginning. I see if somebody had. I see somebody new is in the chat. I just want to let you know what's happened thus far. Owled is Tim from accounting, who is a normal human from the start. And Generic is James from PR, who's kind of mad and was a Toonkind. And then they both got splashed with a polymorph potion. So James got turned into a human, Tim got all of his magic completely borked, and now they realize they really have to find a counter potion within the hour, otherwise they're gonna be stuck. I don't actually know what to do with the 3. Give me a second to think.
With a 3!
He finds nothing.
No, he's
He
gotta
walks
find
into a
something.
wall.
I gotta progress this forward, even if I gotta punish you.
Does he find his wallet?
No, I think what happens is he sort of like walks back the way he came. He knows not to walk back through the door, but as he walks back through the way he came, he sees somebody who's like kind of familiar, and he like does the oh yeah wave that everybody does when they see somebody who's kind of familiar, and like their eyes glance over at him and then they like latch on and turn red, and he realizes, oh yeah, that's one of the wizards, and not only is that one of the wizards, that's one of the pissy wizards. I'm gonna need you both to roll initiative.
Oh god, that's Jane from engineering.
Oh no!
Jane from engineering
She doesn't like
is
me.
very, very mad that you ruined what could have been the greatest day.
Also, they have like a long-standing rivalry because Tim from accounting is usually the one in charge of basically counting up how much like she spends and also gets in like engineering dividends. Mm-hmm. And as I've stated before, he's very average, so he barely gives her any bonuses, and sometimes he fucks up.
James just stands up and looks over at Jane and is like, yeah, she sucks at the holiday party. She always brings like these really bad like cookies and stuff that's gross. Well, wait, who are we looking at?
Hey, but Tim at least is like, oh god, I look completely different, I think. So she probably doesn't know it's me. But all the wizards saw them after they got gooped.
Oh,
so,
absolutely all the wizards saw them after they got gooped.
So, like, Jane is now just, like, towering over him.
Yeah,
because he's just...
She's a mad woman.
Yep.
Yeah. We had our initiative bonus too, right?
Yes.
I think. Yes. Yeah. Okay.
So, Tim waves...
God damn it.
It's okay, like, initiative is, like, fine, it just means what
I know.
order you're going in. Besides, I have a -1 to initiative, so you're already doing better than me.
Alright, so that's a 6 and a 3. Let me see.
Just a constant stream of bad luck with these rolls.
Yeah, just,
You
like,
guys are
that's
really
also...
having a bad day. It's not your fault. You guys have
It's
just
also
got
an effect of the
polyjuiced.
polymorph potion.
Good gravy. What does
You could say
initiative
this is
come
really
off
one
of?
big polymess.
It's a big old polymess, folks.
But
I'm going to say, due to her anger, she's going to have a +3.
Oh boy.
And that's an 18, so...
That's gonna fuck us up anyway.
Oh no.
So she gets to go first, and she points at both of you, like, you ruined everything. And then she points specifically to Tim and says, you did it again!
I was sitting behind a pillar.
Oh,
You can't blame me for everything in your life, Jane. Didn't your therapist say that's bad for you?
oh, honey, she was going to have a little bit of mercy on you. But girlfriend, you just used it up.
James is looking over and Tim is like making that motion in her head, like, stop it, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up.
She is going to cast Color Spray with one of her 3rd level slots.
Oh, go.
Purple, where? Range self? Wait. Help, I don't understand how this works. I'm sorry, I'm gonna be like re-figuring out all of this.
You have to pick a person to attack.
No, I've got this. It's okay. It's fine. Trust me. So, do you guys have less than 28 points of damage?
Yeah, I have 16.
I have 14 hit points.
I have 16.
Alright. So, both of you are blinded.
Ow.
Not again!
Again? When was the first time?
The potion!
How'd you get blinded by that?
It got into my eye! The potion blinded!
Oh, and then Tim just looks at him like straight on and then gently removes his glasses.
Alright, I think that's her turn. Because I don't think that she'll have any bonuses. So she just blinds you both, but you can like hear her breathing. She's so angry. So like, if you don't either make a hasty escape or like tactfully like pin her down and say, you gotta chill, we need help, we didn't mean to do this, she's going to hurt you both and badly. Next up
boy.
is James. James, how would you like to approach this situation? Tactfully or not?
I'm about to make it real dumb stupid. I would like to try with this amazing thing called, shoot, wait, that wouldn't work, actually. So, I'd actually like to try to see if I can use persuasion to be like, hey, let's try not to do this. Let's take a moment to calm down, relax, not harm us in any meaningful and harmful impact. Possibly. So yeah, I'd like to try to roll for persuasion, I think.
All
to
right.
try and be like, hey, I have a -2 to that.
You have a -2 in charisma, but you are certainly willing. You're certainly capable of that. Go
yeah.
for
it. Frank the dice gods. So
13.
close.
And that's just gonna be straight up against her own charisma, right?
I think, yeah.
That does not work. She is far too angry for that. You're like blearily trying to like calm her down, even though you can't see anything, so you can't like be positive where she is, even with her angry breathing. And her angry breathing doesn't even shift. She is still 100% mad and 100% focused on you.
That was my only idea. So I don't know.
Tim is just like rapidly flicking through like his spells because like his magic is kind of fucked, and
he can't see is the thing. Is he like using Braille? Can he feel the ink?
No, he's like he knows his spells, so he's like trying to. God, have you ever like stretched to test your range of motion?
Yeah. You know
he's
what?
doing that, but with magic. So, turns out most of his offensive magic is like not existing.
Whoops.
Great! Great!
Woohoo!
That just means that I am Googling what spells I got randomly.
Do you need your character sheet back in the doobly-doo?
No, I have it. I have it open. I'm just checking what the spells do. The only spells that he has that do any damage are cantrips, and they're very wimpy.
Mm-hmm.
So, where exactly is Jane?
She's in front of them, but you can't tell exactly where anymore, even though you can hear her breathing heavily. Part of the problem with, being blind.
Okay,
So vaguish front direction, she might have moved from where exactly she was, and you can hear her, so she's, like, not too far away. It's like you're playing Marco Polo, except neither of you are allowed to say Marco without the other person taking your head clean off.
Oh boy.
So not like Marco Polo at all.
So, I'm looking up what each of these does, because I don't know. I've never played a wizard.
I think you can just click on the spell and it'll come up with a sidebar that tells you everything.
Yeah, you can.
Oh
do
my
that
god, are you fucking serious?
Yeah, you can do that in D&D
100%
Beyond.
legit. I promise.
Oh my god.
I only just
Oh,
learned
it
that
does!
today too,
Holy
though,
crap,
so don't worry.
that's so useful!
I know!
Oh my god.
It's almost like D&D Beyond has actually thought of these things. Almost.
Okay. So, Tim just starts to panic, and he's like, oh god, she is seriously not fucking around anymore. And he can't see, but he decides that even if he can't see, he can, like, kind of hear where she is. So he just goes toward the angry bellowing, and he sticks his hands out, and he casts Shocking Grasp. So basically he tases her.
Alright.
He attempts to tase her.
Roll for it.
Oh god.
God, what is my bonus to this? It would be
Plus
for
3.
Dex. Okay, D20 plus 3. God, give me a good roll. Damn it!
That's a 9.
I know.
So...
God. It's not
So
our
here's
day.
the thing, if you had gotten anything below, say, a 4, I would have made it so that you accidentally attacked James, but that's a 9, so that's in the vague direction of her. You don't connect at all, and she's still pretty furious.
Oh
So-
boy. My shock hands didn't work.
Aw.
So what she's going to do is she's going to cast Chill Touch, and she's going to say, you know what, Tim, I've heard this from you often enough. I think you both need to cool off. And Tim, you can, like, feel the weight of your past sins on your back of all the times that you've, like, calculated stuff and, like, sniped at her because she's kind of a fiery type. And that has a good old +5 to hit.
You can faintly hear Megalovania in the
But
background.
that's a 10.
Oh, that'll do it. My armor class is only 9.
My armor class is 12.
All right. So for James only, what was it? 8. D8. You take 8 points of damage. She is very mad, and thankfully very mad at you, but unthankfully, she's now hurt you quite a bit.
Oh god.
Oh, right. I should have said this first and foremost. Make sure that you guys both mark a point of inspiration to be used at any time during this one-shot. You're probably going to need it at this point.
I'm guessing. God, I have to mark down, I had...
11, right?
No, my armor class is 9. James's armor class is 11.
No, my armor class, James's armor class is 12.
Mine is 9. So she hit me and she did not hit James.
You have 14 hit points. Sorry, that was what I was saying.
Yeah, I have 14 hit points. I just got hit for 8 points of damage, and that means I have 6 hit points,
Oh no.
which isn't great.
It's not.
Just-
It's not great.
Tim is just like kind of dealing with frostbite now.
Yeah,
And-
she was really mad. She didn't actually hold back this time. You
And,
really shouldn't have insulted her fiery temper, James. Tim.
Yeah, Tim.
Jim?
Tim and Jim.
Oh, I'm so confused.
And Tim just like looks over at James and he says, "This can like go on her record, right?"
Unfortunately, you guys live.
I'm very tired of her beating me up.
Can you, and I say this from the deepest pit of my heart, shut your damn mouth for 2 seconds?
I'm physically
hole that you-
incapable.
There's a hole and you keep digging it deeper. I don't want this to be my grave.
All right, with that, we're back to James. What do you do? You're no longer blinded, I believe.
Okay.
I did cast
So-
color spray like super powerful.
Yeah. Okay,
I'm
I'm
gonna at
looking
least
here.
make the call that you have successfully fought off the blindness after a round.
Yeah.
Y'all
so,
need the help.
Please.
Yeah, so one of my actions in combat, I think, is grapple. If I'm looking at my sheet correctly. So I'd like to roll to try and do that, to try and just like kind of like you know when a kid's having like a temper tantrum and then and you have to like hug them to try and calm them down. He wants to attempt that.
That sounds like a great plan to me. Roll for it.
I
Oh
don't-
god.
I need to roll for that. I think just a d20. I think. Probably. Plus strength. Possibly. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I mainly play Magic less, so I have no idea what I'm doing.
I don't think anybody knows what they're doing at this point.
I think it's basically, thankfully, I have a +1 on that, so...
No, that's a +3.
Oh, it's a +3? Oh, shoot, well...
We
I
can
got a
just use
16.
the same roll, though. 16,
Oh,
17,
yeah.
18, that's a 19. So, that'll do it.
Yeah, it's just like...
And what you're saying is that you don't intend to, harm. You're
Not-
just intending to grapple her?
Yeah, just to, like, calm her down, hey, just meditate, just calm.
I don't want to meditate! I hate him so much! He's such a jerk!
Hey, no, I get it. I get it. He always steals, like, the Keurig cups and just hoards them in his desk.
He always steals the stupid Keurig cups! He's so rude! He won't let me ever just say something! He always has to analyze it!
I know.
Oh, and how does that make you feel?
Don't ever say those words in my presence again!
It's okay. You're okay.
I'm
You're
okay.
okay. Everything's gonna be okay.
I'm
You're
okay.
fine. We're okay.
You see
you're
her,
gonna
like,
be fine.
pat you, but it's, like, really gentle, because, like, she can tell that you guys are, like, sort of really bad off, and she's like, sorry, and she, like, shakes her head, and she's like, sorry, man, that wasn't either of your fault, it's just, like, the worst thing that could have possibly happened. And
Yeah, worst case scenario, I get it.
This is the nightmare scenario, but if Tim will keep his mouth shut, I will admit that I shouldn't have blown my anger off on you two. You two were victims of circumstance.
Yes, that'd be great. And I think that Tim could agree to these agreements, couldn't he? He's saying with, like, looking over and gritting his teeth like,
Tim is like nursing his frostbitten side, and he's got like the stereotypical little swirlies that come off of anime characters when they're like sick, and he's got like the little blue lines under his eyes.
Yes.
And he's just like, he gives a thumbs up.
Oh, nuts and bolts. Okay.
Okay. So Tim can keep his mouth shut. He's capable of that.
He
Most
reaches.
definitely.
Wait. He reaches into his pocket, and he didn't have his wallet or anything, but there is one Keurig cup in his wallet, or not in his wallet. There's one Keurig cup in his pants pocket, and he hands it gently over to Jade.
If you want to stuff that in his mouth as a makeshift gag, I would not be mad.
You're just mean.
Possibly.
She puts it in her pocket, but she's like, I accept your parlay. We're gonna need to get you two, like, out of this juice. She looks at her watch, she's like, yeah, sooner would be better considering, and then she looks up and realizes that there's a chance you both know what neither of you know what happens with a true polymorph potion. She's like, don't worry about it, it's fine, we'll just do it for timeliness' sake, Tim.
And Tim just like, I feel a lot of aggression coming from you two, and
the
it's
deal
not great.
Was you shut up. For once in your life, you actually accept what I say.
I am accepting it. You're really mean to me.
It's like the general, like, okay. Calm down.
Okay. It's okay.
Okay.
I'm okay.
Okay.
Okay. So, you two go
say what you like, but I never told you to shut up.
Is like the worst scenario. It's like, okay, so if what just happened with you and Tim, that happened, is like the nightmare scenario, then you two going back in that room is like, and she pauses for like an exaggerated long time, and then she says, the worst nightmare scenario. I had a gag, but it sort of fell apart.
Anyway. No.
Tim raises his hand.
Jade, like, glares at him, but after, like, a solid second where he proves that he's not going to talk if she doesn't look at him, she's like, yeah, okay, what?
I think I have one or two of my old spells, and it's a little ditty called Unseen Servant.
Yes?
How would that be a help?
You know the big issue with us going in there is that there's gonna be a bunch of wizards, and they're gonna, like, try and hurt us, right?
Yeah, well,
we have...
maybe,
what if
they would want to hurt you pretty bad. If Chief saw you, he probably wouldn't care how in tune he is. He'd probably tear you from limb to limb. Well, let's avoid you two going back in there, huh?
All right. What if I said that I have the power to conjure an invisible helper who can do simple tasks such as retrieving potions and antidotes while being invisible?
Well, I would say that's a good idea, except the antidote isn't back in there. You'd have to brew it, and you don't want to take that potion receipt, because it's like the big deal, and like all the wizards are going to be arguing over it. You're going to need to take the one that's in our chief's room.
Oh no.
So,
okay.
So, hang on.
I'm gonna get fired for this.
No. Tim, I don't quite hate you enough to get you fired, okay? You let me ice you up and everything. I'm willing to put our differences aside over a Keurig cup.
The worst form of anger
You just
management.
don't want an HR investigation.
I don't want an HR investigation. You've hit it on the head. So here's what we're gonna do. You see, Chief's office is sorta, it's a little trapped, but it's not super trapped. It's less, listen, it is much safer than going back in there. And she points back to the room, and like you hear this sudden burst of conversation, like, and then it fades back to like an acceptable murmur. But you can tell they're like, they're not happy. They're not happy.
I don't think I'd survive any gag they'd throw at me, so yeah, let's not.
So like I said, it is minorly trapped, but hey, Tim, you're still a wizard, right? And she's like grinning a little too hard, but you can like sort of tell that she actually is slowly calming down now that she's like actually been able to vent. And she's like, right, Tim? So here's what you need to do. You're gonna go to his office. I'm gonna stay here and make sure that nobody realizes that you're like gone, because here's the thing. The other thing is if they realize that you're gone, as in like left the room rather than just out of sight, they're probably gonna try and find you, and again, main wizard probably pissed enough to tear you limb from limb. So what's gonna happen is I am gonna go back in the room and I'm gonna get every bit of information I can, and I'm gonna direct you to the head wizard's office. You're gonna dismantle a few traps, you're gonna find the counter potion, and you're just gonna brew it, and then we'll all come back here, and it'll be fine.
Tim raises his hand again.
And she, like, almost immediately waves him off. You can tell that she's, like, actually fully cooling down. Yes, Tim. She's not quite ready to give away the power to, like, make him shut up, but she's willing to acquiesce pretty much instantly.
That's an certainly important power to hold.
Thank you for helping us.
Yeah, she, like, pats the side of you that's still, like, sort of frostbitten, and she's like, I sort of had to after, and she, like, looks away and she's like, what I did to you, you're crap, Tim, but you're not terrible, okay? There are worse people out there. And, she points at James, but she's like, other guy who...
James,
James,
it's a pleasure.
James, she, like, shakes her hand. James, I'm sure you didn't deserve this. I'm sure you're a nice, upright, charismatic, upstanding man who's honest and faithful and just nice. You didn't deserve this, man. And she, like, pats your hand, like, way too many times.
You hit the nail right on the nose, madam.
And Tim stares directly into the camera.
Yes!
You hear the office theme faintly playing in the background.
Yeah, and he's just like, I knew I shouldn't have, like, taken her out on a date.
You really shouldn't have, Tim!
Wait, what now?
When we, first met, me and Jane, we went out for dinner, and then she yelled at me, and I said a few things I shouldn't, and we've been mortal enemies ever since.
Hold on just a second. You can tell she's, like, getting ready to be angry again. So, like... You're telling me that I started yelling first?
Yes?
No.
I thought we agreed to stop digging this hole. The hole started. We're getting close to 6 feet deep. Stop it. Just no, please, God.
Yeah, I agree with your friend here, Tim. Jim.
Well, if you weren't the one who yelled first, then what the heck happened? I was having a nice time. You looked really great in your suit.
Time, all right. And she pulls herself back from, like, the argument that has happened pretty much every time they've seen each other face to face, rather than engaging in terse but still polite emails. And she's like, you know what? She pulls out of her purse something and she holds it out to you, and it's a healing potion. She says, you are gonna go, and she lifts off a crazy detailed amount of direction instructions. She's like, and there you'll find Chief Wizard's office. Like I said, gonna be minorly trapped. You both are going to keep eyes out. Yes, keep your peepers up.
Will do.
All right, she hands the healing potion to James, and, like, looks significantly at Tim as she's handing it to James, like, if you hadn't restarted the argument we've had every single time, maybe I would have handed this to you instead, but too late, it's going to James.
And Tim's just like, like, just deep sigh, because he genuinely doesn't think he's done, like, a ton wrong. He knows he's responsible partially for the reason that, like, they are both upset at each other. But at the same time, he also knows all of Jane's dirty shit. Like, not shit, sorry. All of her dirty details. So, he's just like, I get the short end of the stick every single time. And then he just, like, he rolls his eyes and then he says, I like your new pocket protector. And then he convenes with James.
All right, so she says, all right, you two go. I'll go ahead. Again, keep your peepers up for traps. And she goes back into the room.
James just gives a lazy salute and then turns around and is like, okay. That could have gone entirely better than it did!
If it helps, a lot of my exes are like that.
You have more than... nuts and bolts, nuts and bolts, nuts and bolts. Okay.
Yeah, you should, like, you know John from HR?
We've conversed.
Yeah. That one didn't end good either. There's also
been getting around!
Isn't
also Emma from marketing.
Isn't there a workplace rule against all these workplace romances?
Kind of. It's only if you're in the same department, and believe me, I've been over paperwork enough. So, you are allowed to, like, date other people in the company, but they gotta be your same rank, and they can't be in your department. So, I have followed all of those rules, and none of my relationships has ever worked out. So far, I'm up on 6 exes?
I could not
Maybe 7. It kind of depends.
I could not possibly imagine why they wouldn't like you and how this could ever go feasibly wrong for us.
Apparently, I'm too average a lover.
That was what you were setting up! That was the punchline!
You've heard of the horny bard. Have you heard of the horny wizard?
The horny accountant?
Yep.
Jesus.
And then he checks, like, the wall clock, and he's like, oh, yeah, crap. And, he's just a very average lover. He takes James's hand, and they run in the vague direction of the mad wizard's room.
James, like, almost, like, drops the potion, but he's like, okay. And I will!
Yoink. And they Naruto run the whole way.
Now, hold on. You can say that Tim Naruto run the whole way, but you can't make James make that decision. James, do you run Naruto run the whole way?
No, he's stumbling because he still can't imagine walking on such stable human legs. They're not metal, they're too floppy, he does not like them.
Okay, fine. Then Tim Naruto runs while dragging James.
You see that? Valid.
And this is the Area 51 right, everybody?
And they're gonna save the world someday.
And then Jane Nation attacked. But
All right.
I believe that James can save the world. Oh my god, Sammer's the Flesh Weaver. Just an average horny Naruto wizard.
I don't see anything wrong with this.
Oh my god.
Alright. So you arrive at the wizard's door. Lightning crashes. Even though it's not
they really ought to
really
get that
raining.
thing.
So, like, that's probably just, like, special effects. But
It's on a timer.
No, there's like a little switch on the ground that when you step on the tile, it like causes lightning.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
And anytime you mention the switch, I have to make that sound effect. Oh boy, here I go again. So you are now
Got it.
at the door. Jane has warned you repeatedly that there will be traps from here until you get to the recipe. What do you do?
Tim conjures an unseen servant.
I think James is going to try to do a really quick investigation to see if he can see any obvious traps.
Alrighty.
Not gone well before. So.
I've got your save DC, so go ahead and roll investigation.
Yes. Yay. Sadly, -2. Fingers crossed.
An 18 will absolutely do it, though. Wait a minute,
Natural
was that a
20
nat
not
20?
It was a nat 20.
That
Within the
was
-2.
okay. Hold on, I gotta turn on the light for this.
Oh no!
I'm sorry, it was getting dark out. I needed a reason to get up.
Rolled so good, had to turn on the light.
It's like an actual literal light bulb, just like blink.
Yeah, no, a light bulb genuinely appears above your head, but it's only for like half a second, and then it like shrinks back, and it like almost hurts because you're not actually right now attuned. You're a human who's been polymorphed in a wrong way. So it like appears for just a second, but then it like almost hurts. But when you open your eyes, you don't just see one trap, you see two. One
no.
is like very, very, very magic-y, and like you somehow know that you wouldn't be able to see this most of the time. It's just like you're at the exact right angle that you almost can never get it at, that you can like see the light, and you can't read anything because you're not like a wizard, you don't train in this stuff, but you can tell that it's magic-y, and it sure looks like it would hurt. And there's another one that's oddly connected to the hinges rather than like the doorknob or the keyhole, and you don't even know what that one does, but it doesn't like it looks like it will hurt as much as the magic-y one.
Okay.
And both look like they could be disabled if you are capable of using your roll. I'm gonna say if you tell Tim and he try to disable those traps, you get an automatic +2 from that natural 20.
Cool. I think James would like look and lean over and be like, so I think there are two possible traps that I advantage. I can see them that well. One of them is still really magic-y, and that is not my... That, for lack of better words, it isn't my department.
Oh my god.
See that? I am pleased with that. That's good joke.
Tim nods.
So that's your thing, but there's also, I think, one on the, like, hinges of, like, the door. So if we tag team it, you try to get that magic-y one, and I try to get the non-magic-y one that hopefully won't backfire as much. I mean, nothing. Then, you know...
Tim stares directly at you.
He just stares right back, but, like, he stares right back, but he has that look of, like, very much like he's obviously kind of lying, like, anyway, so...
James, roll persuasion.
Oh, God. No. Don't know.
Oh, Owled, roll... what is it? I think it would be investigation. No, roll performance. Not performance. Perception. This is a skill contest.
Okay, so what did you say?
Roll perception.
Okay, so perception would be +2 actually.
Oh, God, I'm praying. Oh, God.
What's that? Nat 20 of the game, and it's just to know that James is talking bullshit.
do something really terrible. And if you get 20s, I have to give you a bonus. And I'm trying to think of what I can do for, like, a perception roll against your buddy who's just trying to casually lie to you.
Who's trying to be like, yeah, this probably won't backfire. This won't backfire. Majorly and possibly harm you in any way. No. It's fine. It's fine.
Let me guess, you had problems with authority figures in your past.
Just looking at him like, we do not talk about my father. We do not talk about my father in this household.
And also, you're really close to your mom.
Owled?
I did not come to this. Is not a therapy session.
Then
Owled,
don't try to bullshit me.
I have an idea. How about you hold a +2 for any time that you're trying to help James, now that you have this sordid insight into his tragic past?
That works. That works for me. So he's just gonna use that. The magic-y trap is on the hinges of the door, right?
No, the magic trap is on the normal door, and here's the thing. You can't see it unless you use some sort of spell to see it. It's just that
okay.
James right now is in the exact right angle that he can see it, but, like, if he moves, he's gonna lose the angle. You can't, like, swap places.
Oh, no, I got it. So, Tim has his invisible servant who he just, like, literally conjured, like, during his last action. So, he directs it towards the door, and, he has it take grasp of the doorknob and turn it.
Nothing happens.
Well,
James
I'm
is
out of
kind of-
ideas.
I'm just gonna sit in there and it's like,
No, wait. You said he grasped the door and turned it. You didn't say he opened the door.
Oh, fine, then he makes his invisible servant open the door. God.
James is just kind of standing there, kind of like not bracing, like kind of like sort of like starting to bring his arms up, like
Fireball spell?
no!
Does the fireball attack what opened the door?
Let me see. Yes,
I'm
but
getting
its
ready
range is
for-
150 feet, so, that doesn't matter.
Oh.
Do you want us to die? You could just say the fireball incinerates the person who tries to open the door, and since it's an invisible servant, it just means that it dies because it has 1 hit point.
Yeah, but, that wasn't a good plan, my friend.
True.
James, let's disable the door. What do we not do? Just activate the trap.
Hang on, I'm having trouble finding the spell.
Oh, thank God.
While the door is deciding what to do, Tim gently takes the health potion.
Yeah, go ahead and use that up.
So he's back at 14 HP.
James is sitting there mentally writing out his will. Or possibly actually writing it, depending on the situation, but just like...
Okay, I said the wrong spell. I apologize. It was firebolt, not fireball.
Oh, thank God.
It's still gonna hurt, but, I had entirely the wrong spell in mind. My apologies.
Yeah, fireball is straight up like 3d8.
It's actually 10d6. No, not...
God damn it.
No,
Oh,
it's
God!
8d6, which is like death.
Yeah, that's like instant incineration.
So,
About 7.
this is a ranged spell attack.
Okay.
So that's d20 plus 5. Does a 24
Oh, God.
hit both of you?
Yeah.
Most definitely, yes.
You
Okay,
both
Mom,
take
yeah.
9 points of damage. Owled, I'm really glad you took the health spell.
Yeah. Tim is now, before he was like frostburnt, but now he's just burnt.
Mm-hmm.
James is also burnt. 7 points, currently at 7 hit points.
Yeah, so here's the thing. There were 2 traps on that door, remember?
Oh god.
I 12.
You did this, not me.
12 a.m. Oh no.
A 7 does
12
not
a.m.
hit either of you, correct?
Thank god.
So you
12
see
p.m.
like this
No.
scythe-like object like drill out of the ground and then pop right back in, but it's like sort of ineffective. It only clips your invisible servant, and so the invisible servant puffs away, but both of you are fine, and it looks like the door's traps are disabled, but maybe don't do that shit again. Maybe next time someone says heavily trapped, at least step back 30 feet before you just use the traps.
They're in a small hallway.
You can
Yes,
still step
You
back
can
from
direct your invisible servant farther than 2 feet in front of you, my dear.
Yeah, but it only goes 15 feet.
That would have been safer.
that. Or
Jim just, he says, that was me, that was my bad. I did not think it would be that dangerous, but I was wrong.
wow, I would have never guessed.
At least the door's open. Door's open. That's a pretty average way of getting everything done.
He goes to say, like, James, like, puts up a finger to say something, but then stops, closes his mouth, shakes his head, and it's just like, no, let's just go in there. Can we please just go in there?
Alright, I'm gonna need you both to roll perception checks, but again, you've got that +2, because you guys were alerted by Jane that there are probably still a couple traps around.
Okay, what is actually my perception bonus? I should probably.
I look a
also-
perfectly average roll.
Wait, should I also add my normal perception bonus?
Oh
No.
wait, we have normal perception bonuses?
Wait,
Then
I
add
think
+2 to that. I guess I got a 12. It's not perfectly average anymore.
But neither is Tim, secretly.
Okay. Oh no.
Secretly, he
hi,
holds a
Duff.
heart of gold inside of his 6 failed relationships with all those girls.
Anime
If it
protagonist heart.
helps, he has a -1 to charisma.
Better than a -2. I'm just gonna do a
That's
plus
how
4
he
because
got all the dates, but he can't keep them.
Yeah, so I think I already have a +2 perception, so I'm just gonna turn that to a +4. I think
Yeah.
that's allowed. Yeah, so
22 will do it. So you don't have
God, I
galaxy
love
brain
this.
eyes, but you see pretty well, and you see the path around stuff is relatively clear. And you like see Tim trying to move, and you like immediately hold him back because you don't trust him
he's
anymore.
like, nope.
You're just like, hold on a second and let me evaluate the situation. So you see
Can't
that
believe I'm
moving.
saying the 200 counting guy.
You see that all the pathways, like to stuff and around stuff, is pretty safe. You see that like there's flashy magic on front of like all of the cabinets and stuff that like clearly says super trapped. So if you have to get something specifically from a cabinet, you'll have to deal with it. But all the walkways are clear. And when you look forward, you see that everything's like kind of messy, but you see there's laid out at the back of the wall a table, which is like one of those long tables rather than a normal size table. It's long and skinny. And you see that there's like a whole bunch of nails in this table in like a paper shape. And the way to it is completely clear. There's no way that they could hide a trap to or from it. But the nails look pretty sketch. What do you do?
That is very odd. Okay, so
And
first,
learned his lesson. He's just standing still.
James obviously related, like, kind of like the bottom line, okay, so, like, we can go this way, pretty good, the cabinets, pray to God, pray to something, we don't have to go and use those. Sketchy table. I don't know what's up with it. I don't like it. Bad feeling in my gut. Guts? Flashy guts? I don't know how that works. I don't like that.
You're human right now, so one gut.
I don't. Before
So
it was not.
We only get one.
I'm so pleased.
Lucky you. So that's no bueno. No bueno. So I would think I don't remember everything she told us to get us. But hopefully nothing's in those cabinets. But hopefully, but knowing our luck.
Tim pulls out the instruction sheet that she gave them, and he just holds it up for James to look at, and then he turns it around again, and he starts flipping through it.
Okay. So okay.
We have canonically established that Tim has pockets.
Yes, we have. In his pants.
Yep.
We have not.
And also in his jacket.
Actually, we haven't ascertained that. We've ascertained that Jane has a pocket protector. But we have not yet said that he has jacket pockets. Does he have jacket pockets?
Yes, that's where he got the Keurig pod from that he gave her as a symbol of peace.
I thought it was the pants pocket.
No, you're
You
probably
did
right.
say
It was the pants pocket.
You did say pants pocket.
He has a suit jacket, but like it has no pockets, and then he has like pants, and they have pockets.
There we go. Now it's canon.
Yeah, there we go. It's canon that he only has pants pockets, but that was where he was keeping his notes, and it's
Yeah, but
fine
here's the
because
thing. His
men's
jacket-
pockets are super huge.
Here's the thing. His jacket used to have pockets, but then Polymorph Potion, anime hero, no pockets.
Nope, only in his pants.
His
Yeah,
pants
just
were
walking-
protected by his jacket.
Yeah. So, like, the top of the pants is still khaki, but the bottom in, like, a splash pattern
Yes!
is, like, the fucking... It's the same, like, design as the anime jacket. So we've just got, like, fucking random splatters on his clothes, and where the splatters are, it's, like, a white button-down and a black tie and khakis. But where there's no, like... where there's, like, actually, where there's no splatters, it's that normal outfit, but where there is splatters, it's like the anime school uniform.
I need you to swear to me that at some point in your life you'll draw this, because I need to see this visually with my eyeballs.
I'm going to draw it. You can't stop me.
Please.
We weren't planning on it.
Please do.
So, what exactly do they need to get from this room?
They need
You are
to
our
find-
sheet of paper.
They need to find both they need to find the counter potion instructions. Because they need to know what ingredients they'll need to be getting in order to reverse the spell. Honestly, it's a pretty cut and dried process. Most of the time when you have a spell that's directed at you that's malicious, you find the counter spell, you find the ingredients, and then you cast the counter spell. So all they're doing currently is trying to find the counter spell, and if there are any useful ingredients in the room, they may as well take those.
Okay.
So it looks like Tim reads off these instructions of all the ingredients they need, and also that they need to find the instructions for the counterspell, and he kind of explains that to James because James is a paladin and Tim is a wizard, so he knows a little bit better about how you need both the counterspell and the extra ingredients. And he gives a very bare bones explanation. One might even say that it's extremely average. And
We just I'd like to know
took
this
me a
own explanation.
and then he stops and he says, okay, so ingredients would probably be... I keep mine in the drawers in my desk, but I don't see any desks in here. And filing cabinet is probably where you'd find the instructions for a counterspell. But you said that was super cursed, so...
Let me remind you, there's a long table with a bunch of nails in the shape of a paper, and you guys haven't actually gotten into the room, so you guys don't actually see what's there.
I think James is like, okay, as much as I do not like this decision, if that thing's in the shape of paper, maybe it conjures up paper. And that paper might, by any chance of luck and coincidence, because that's how this all goes by apparently, could have the instructions on it.
It might.
Tim is like,
it can't possibly get worse.
so do we go inside or do we just stand out here?
Preferably inside?
Alright, and because he's nervous, he loops his arm around James's, and then they like skip inside, like following the yellow brick road.
Before he does this, I'd like to ask if I can roll just to have James kind of use his other arm to like just push him in. Just like revenge.
All right. So when you get to the table, you see there's a slip of paper which border is absolutely covered in nails, which reads True Polymorph Potion Instructions. Do not turn over. Using spell, add fragment of the being you wish to become. Let stew for 30 minutes. Ignore any quiet animal sounds that come from the stew. Ingest. There is nothing on the other side of this paper.
Can I roll insight?
I don't think you need to roll insight. It's clearly lying. I would say instead you want to roll investigation.
Oh, alright, then I'll do that.
And I would say you both can roll investigation, because clearly saying it twice, it's full of shit.
That's just how this works.
Fishy about this. I suspect there's something fishy.
Okay, I get a +1.
Yes, I got a D20. I got a nat 20.
Oh my god, I got a 19.
I got a nat 20 again, but it's an 18 because I have a -2.
Why do you guys
God.
keep getting good rolls on the rolls that don't matter as much? Alright, so
As I
generic,
said, it can't possibly get worse. Yes?
you see not only, like, the magical spell, but, like, for half a second, you recognize just, like, 3 of the magic-y words from the really irritating person across the cubicle who's a sorcerer who thinks she's too good for the magic words. So, like, the wizarding department comes over and, like, fusses at them pretty much every day. And, like, you've just seen these words all the time because the sorcerer won't use the words. And you immediately, like, realize not only is this a trap, but in the exact same second, you realize the trap's weakness. I'm going to say that you can go ahead and just surpass rolling again. You just disable the trap. Even though it's a magic trap and you're a paladin, you're just like, I know where these 3 words intersect with the nails, so you just disable the trap. You just start plucking nails out. And Tim, like, panics for a second, because, like, this is so clearly trapped. It's so clearly trapped, and nothing happens. And you just pluck out all the nails. Do you turn the paper over? And don't worry, you've got a natural 20. Nothing weird is going to happen if you turn the paper over.
Before he turns the paper over, he said, "Ha, and Mama said snooping would do me no good," and then he turns it over.
There is something on the other side of this paper. You mean the instructions lied? It reads,
Wow.
Polymess potion. Much cheaper to produce if you ignore the extra side effects, including the occasional ability to partially wear off and turn back on. You suddenly realize that moment that you had the light bulb over your head, that was probably you momentarily turning partly back into a toon and then back human. Unexpected changes if someone is exposed to the potion in an inert state. You realize that this is probably both of you, considering that nobody had actually put in the ingredients of what they wanted to turn into. The gain of an extra finger and eventual death.
Oh no!
And Tim just, like, blinks, and then he's like, oh god.
No, really?
Maybe we should do something about this?
If we ever
What?
get caught,
Really?
the counterspell ingredients are Mimic Ichor, Caterpillar Cocoon, Slime.tm, Red Dye, enough water to fill a cauldron, and magic. Repeat the traditional counterspell words as effective people ingest counter potion. There's a pretty standard bureaucratic counterspell. So, like, this particular line is actually found in a whole lot of counterspell things. It's the ingredients that are necessary to get, but you have to make sure, because sometimes wizards are weird enough that they won't have this, and instead they'll have their own counterspell, and if you say the, like, traditional counterspell, and really you need a specific counterspell, sometimes a person's esophagus might explode, and that's no good.
Oh
Oh
god.
god.
I love that I can just say these things, and it's real now.
Tim, he picks up the paper because there's no trap anymore, and he folds it into quarters, and then he sticks it in his pocket.
Okay, so we need that, and I'm pretty sure that this is violating at least 7 laws and something or other, so...
Why do you think I'm taking this with me? If we give this to a lawyer, then... Wait. I don't really want to get fired.
I thought we were taking it with us because none of us can remember our instructions properly.
Well, you can't remember instructions properly. I just keep extras of every single receipt I've gotten in my life.
Alright, so
You know you could be the world's best whistleblower if you didn't care about getting fired so much.
True. Mom wanted me to be a lawyer.
Mama, give me strength.
Tim
But
from
here's the
attorney,
thing.
but I didn't like how that sounded.
here's the thing, his test scores were too average. He couldn't get into law school.
Yep. Oh,
Can I
God.
say something? With the amount of average I've been getting, I'm just silently imagining him talking like freaking Cecil from right now.
Oh, God.
Alright, so just to keep things moving along, I'm gonna say that actually, Owl, your perception was actually, your investigation check from earlier is actually to look for ingredients because, again, nat 20, we didn't realize that was gonna happen, but it did.
Yeah.
So with a 19, you can see that slime.tm is just sitting on a counter. You have your own cauldron in your room. There's green dye around, but you
I
don't,
live here.
yeah, you don't see any red dye, which is strange.
You could just say I have a cauldron in my cubicle.
Yes, you're a wizard. Of course you do. You're at portablepotions.tm. Of course you have a cauldron in your cubicle.
Everyone gets one. It was from the Christmas party. White elephant.
And you
I
see
don't think that's how White Elephant works, but go off, I guess.
you see that
What, you
there
get a
is-
bunch of useless gifts and then you trade if you find something you like or not, right?
pretty
Yeah,
much.
but... Yeah.
I know how white elephant works. Get out of my house.
I once got 2 used batteries from a White Elephant thing. It was batteries, toys not included.
Well, obviously, you rolled a natural 1.
Yeah, most definitely.
So you see, you do see Mimic Ichor, but it's inside one of the trap cabinets. The nice thing is, it seems to be one of the less heavily trapped cabinets. It's one of the more general potion ingredients. It's just you won't have it in your own cubicle. So once again, you grab slime. Slime is done. You don't see red dye in here, which is strange. You have your own cauldron, and you can fill that up with water. And if you're willing to disable a trap, you can go ahead and grab the Mimic Ichor. That would leave 2 particular items, and then you would have to magic up your own magic because you're magic.
I am a wizard.
You are magic.
I am a magic.
You are a magic.
Yes.
It's valid.
Tim stashes the jar of slime in
TM.
his pocket.
You have to say
Right.
.tm, otherwise you're gonna get fired.
Fine. Tim stashes the slime.tm
There you
in
go.
his pocket, and then he looks at the mimic Ichor, and then he looks at James, and then he gently pushes James towards the mimic Ichor.
James just he's like, you traitor.
And he's like, you literally wanted me to get hurt, so...
Wow, you literally were the reason that Jane attacked us earlier. Okay.
So
It's
let
not
me
my
just point
fault
out-
our relationship didn't work out.
So let me just
It's not
point
my
out real
fault.
quick. You're not far enough in the hour that you can't take a short rest, but you definitely can't take a long rest.
Okay.
You could take 10
Take a nap,
minutes to
wake up
breathe
dead.
and heal up. Please.
I think that'd be really good, just like getting your nerves before doing this really stupid thing. Just
They're just sitting in this guy's room.
The normal stuff isn't trapped. You could sit on a chair rather than just sitting on the floor.
I feel like James is sitting on the chair, but not properly on the chair. Like he has like his feet like over the back of the chair, like kind of sitting upside down.
Good.
It's like,
Tim is just sitting on the floor.
yeah, just short rest.
has
He doesn't
just
really
enough
wanna get
respect
another.
for the head wizard to not sit on his stuff, but not enough respect to not break into his room, disable his traps, and steal his stuff.
Yeah,
Everyone
so-
has their limits.
That's seriously where you draw the line. That is where the bar cannot be that low.
The bar's pretty low. In fact, it's about averagely low.
I think that's lower than most people would put it. But it depends on what kind of average you use. So on some range of average, it is average.
Yeah,
To be fair, he just doesn't really like his boss. The
I mean,
pay's
his
good.
boss didn't even let him explain. He just said leave.
Exactly, so he's just like, I don't really like him that much. So,
this could be taken as you getting fired. Wait, so it's like a recover rest, short rest? I'm asking because that's what D&D Beyond is asking me.
Yes?
Okay. I don't know. I've never used D&D Beyond before.
I'm gonna be
Okay.
honest, me neither.
okay, so I get 1d6 plus 3.
Do you not see a short rest button near the top of the page?
Oh, I get 6 of my hit points back. That's nice. So, now I have 11 hit points.
There you go.
Okay, wait. So I got. Shoot. Wait. I don't think I get. I think I did something wrong because I didn't get any hit points back.
Huh.
Did you roll a 0?
I don't know.
Go up to short rest and then look at how many dice it tells you to roll.
Oh, it says 1d10 minus 2.
Yep,
You
then
can
roll
put that
that.
in the doobly-doo rather than needing to put it in the
Oh, yeah, right.
beyond.
Yeah, just roll it, my dude.
I got 5 back. So I
That's
have now.
five.
Okay.
What are you back up to?
I'm back up to 12 now. I'm at 12 out of 16 hit points.
12 out of 16 and 11. Okay.
Okay, Tim wants to get that Ecor out of there, and now that he has his hit points back, he's like, okay, I think I know something that should work. And, the cabinet has, like, a glass plane on the front, right?
Yes. If you say you pull out the invisible wizard, I will break my hand through the screen and smack you.
I'm not pulling out the invisible wizard. I cast Acid Splash on the glass.
Oh my god.
Is that a cantrip? That's a cantrip, right?
Another,
Yeah. Okay,
yeah, it's
go
a
for it.
cantrip, which means, basically, my hands get real gooey, and then I dissolve the glass.
It's like some kind of. Is it like a spy movie where like you draw a circle and then push it in?
Exactly. He uses his hand, he draws like a little circle. You hear like a hiss as it dissolves the glass, and then he pushes it in, and there's a little pop as the glass falls out, and then he reaches in and takes out the anchor.
All right. That works. It does not set off the trap.
Nice. And he does like the generic anime peace sign where he's just like, eh.
Let's see. So, give me 1 second to...
So,
Go ahead and talk to each other in character. I just need a second.
so
Hey, check it out! I managed to do this without setting off the trap, even though I completely set off the other one earlier. You know, together, that makes my results average.
I'm giving you a slow. I tempted to give you a slow clap, but I don't even think it's worth it. So we
You
got.
can give me a medium clap.
I will wring your neck. I will wring your neck with no remorse.
Can you even reach me?
My creator has tested me.
Probably.
Okay. So we
You know,
seem to
I
have.
really enjoy your company. This is the first time I've had a really long conversation with someone without them either breaking up with me or attempting to kill me.
Wow, I wonder why.
I don't know either, man. I'm just trying to live my life, and suddenly people just don't like me.
Why did I take this job? There's so many things out. I could have been an adventurer once. I was made. Oh God. Okay. The amount of existential crises I am currently having in this moment is a plethora.
All right.
And then Tim gently pats his shoulder.
Don't touch me.
Tim gently pats his shoulder again.
All right. So,
His eye twitches like.
so
You know, it's great that we're such good friends now.
Okay, I love both of your characters, and I feel important. You both know this. I love them.
They're Nakama now.
Oh God.
All right, so you still need to get a caterpillar cocoon, some red dye, a cauldron of water, which is going to be in Tim's desk, and magic. Where are you going to look for them?
Where did you find the caterpillar cocoon?
What are the odds that Tim has caterpillar cocoons in his desk?
He's not going to have the caterpillar cocoon or the red dye, although
Nuts.
the red dye can probably be found in the general storage area, and it is a really nice spring day outside.
Are we gonna have to forage for a caterpillar?
Do we have the time to forage for a caterpillar?
It's really nice outside, you guys. It's super nice. There are a lot of trees around.
That doesn't answer my question.
It's really nice outside.
Flowers are singing, birds are blooming.
The great outdoors
On days like
calls
this.
you, but only the great outdoors that is directly outside of your big gigantic building. Not like the great outdoors, but like the
The average
medium
outdoors.
the little outdoors directly outside is calling your name.
All right, so Tim.
James.
Tim goes, all right, I have water and I have a cauldron in my cubicle. So if I go and get those, I can put all the ingredients we have so far in it, and you can go and get the rest of them. If you meet me up in my cubicle, we can just, like, close the door, and then nobody will know that we're even illicitly brewing a potion against company regulations.
I think
No
company
regulations
regulation.
against brewing a potion. It's just stolen potions are a little more seedy. It's not technically yet against company regulations, if you know what I'm saying.
It's on thin ice.
It's like James is like, we are currently standing in the chief wizard's room that we have just currently broken into after potentially getting fired I think company regulations have gone out the metaphorical window.
Only if they catch us.
Okay. He just has his head in his hand. He's like,
And then he's just like, you should really, just breathe. You take things too seriously.
I didn't have to breathe before. I'm not starting now.
Just, word to the wise, if you don't breathe, you will pass out, so, give it a shot.
Okay.
He's just being like James's, so, you didn't have lungs before, and now you do, buddy.
So you turned into a human.
Yep.
There needs to be a guidebook for this.
And Tim's just like, I don't know if they make those, because generally we know how to be a human, but I can help you if you have questions.
That was... You know what? No, okay. Where do I need to go to get this other stuff? Just...
Caterpillar cocoons would be outside in the company garden, and the red dye... God, where was the red dye?
In the storage area.
Oh, thank you, mysterious voice. It's in the storage area.
I'm like, what the, not like into another existential crisis. This is fine.
It'll be fine. Just, use your legs and be a person. Look, I'm 3 inches shorter than I should be. And also smaller. And I'm wearing a bow tie. So, I'm handling it. You can handle it too. I believe in you.
By the way, fun little fact. You remember how the list said you gain an extra finger? That wasn't just for the tune. James has currently 6 fingers on each hand.
Do you mean Tim?
He's secretly the author. He's the author of the journal. My brother, James from PR.
Not only does he look like a weird anime person, but he's got 6 fingers.
It's really not that weird. It's just there used to be 5 and now there is more. It doesn't look weird or anything. It's just not what you're used to.
True. I guess that fits. And so Tim is just sort of trying to reassure James because he's still not in the best place.
I did not sign up to be in a fleshy carbon-based life form. Okay.
I mean, nobody was, but...
Okay.
Alright, just to be clear, we're sending James off to get the cocoon and the dye, and Tim is going off to prepare the cauldron. Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
We'll meet back up in... actually, you know what? And then he just, he takes out the slip of paper that the instructions are written on, and he tears off a margin, and then he scribbles down his cubicle's phone number, and then he gives it to James, and he's like, if you need help, just call, and I will pick up.
Please tell me that those were the instructions that were given to us by James and not the instructions for the counterspell.
Duh.
Okay, good.
I'm not that dumb. I have a +1 to intelligence.
All right,
You could have fooled me!
You two split the party. Tim, you go back to your cubicle, which you know where is, so you don't get lost. James, you go outside without any trouble. I'm gonna need you to roll an investigation for me.
Oh, no. Okay. It's gonna be as good as the other times. Okay.
Hopefully. Oh, I forgot. You're the one with the investigation check that's really low.
So that's a 2.
Oh, God. How many times can you roll investigation? Oh, wait. You're looking for a caterpillar, right?
Caterpillar cocoon.
Wouldn't this technically be animal handling?
Sure, but as you're looking around, you don't see anything. I think that removing the caterpillar I don't think that would be caterpillar cocoon. I don't think that would be animal handling because you're looking for a caterpillar cocoon. You're not trying to convince it to do anything.
Oh, would this be a survival check because we will literally die if we don't?
It might be a nature check if you want to roll for that.
Okay, I'm going to. Oh no. If it was survival, then I would have had a +4 to that, but it's nature, so I have a -2.
I still say it could be survival, but I want to see this nature crash and burn.
Wow, thanks. Okay, so I'm gonna roll for a nature check. Oh god.
9 doesn't quite do it either. So you've looked around and like you started to feel the minutes ticking by as you're like scrounging around for this, and you feel your inner anxiety start to go. So now roll a survival check because you know that you only have an hour to find this. So now your life is in danger now that you've tried twice and haven't found anything.
Okay.
An 11 will do it. You see on the very, very edge this like gorgeous, massive cocoon that has been emptied, and you see like this gorgeous monarch butterfly flitting around. But they don't give you any hassle. They don't bug you at all as you pluck off the cocoon and run back inside.
Like, thank you. Joe just shows back a thanks.
That was very, very sweet. One thing, don't forget, you both still have the entirety of your inspiration.
Oh, right. This is true, but I'm saving it.
Yes, you should save it. This is not a roll worth using it for, but I just want to remind you so that you don't forget you have it. It is a resource. Right. It is meant to be used.
I'd like to say that I didn't realize that until I'm looking at tools. I have brewer supplies on hand.
Well, you can help with the brewing.
I'm proficient. At least I'm proficient in that, I think.
Well, that's excellent.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to say you find the red dye no problem, because, again, it was weird that they had green dye and not any of the other colors. So you find them in the storage area, no problem.
Okay.
Tim, as you get to your cubicle, you find your cauldron, and you walk it over to the water place, and you fill it up entirely, because it has to be really big, and like...
Do you mean the sink?
Yes, but you pull it back out, and you realize it's really heavy. I need you to roll a strength check for me to get it from the sink back to your cubicle, because you filled it all the way, and now it's too far down to actually pour back out.
Oh, that's pretty good.
16 will do it. 16 will do it. You get back, and you're like straining because you are a wizard, but you manage it. You get back. So, let me see, because we're wrapping this baby up.
This is good, because I might have to go to eat dinner soon.
Oh, yeah.
I am very hungry.
Oh, you guys could have told me I needed to wrap it up.
No,
it's fine. I'm having fun. I can put off eating food.
Yeah,
My flesh prison doesn't need it.
Don't.
I didn't eat lunch. I barely ate lunch, so, like, I'm cool.
No.
Oh, big mood.
No. Guys, eating is important.
I had a pizza Lunchable, okay? Don't come after me.
Lunchable.
Okay, but yeah.
Guys.
It's okay. Anyway, just gotta put the
take care of yourselves.
Hey.
Anyway, we're wrapping it up. So, James, I'm going to need you to roll real quick as you're running back, and roll insight.
Oh no.
You have a +2 in insight, don't worry.
I actually have a +2 to insight, so oh boy, this is actually might be my lucky day.
Hey!
A 17.
Just call me Gladstone.
So as you're passing by your own cubicle, you like skid to a stop, and you suddenly realize what sort of should have been
Coming.
on the note but wasn't. This is a polymorph potion, so just taking the counter, considering that you didn't have anything you were turning into, you probably are going to need something that from what you were. So like you could have some hair, you could have something that you own that you hold a lot, but you're going to need something that has parts of who you were in order to make this fully possible. What do you grab?
Yeah. Okay. Yes. I am coming. I'd like to say that I have to currently go and eat. But I will say that it'll be a nut and bolt because he used to be a robot.
All right.
So, yeah, I do have to go though, so I might be back soon.
Okay.
Sorry.
You're okay. Let me see. I guess I'm gonna have to act for James. This really is wrapping up, so that's not gonna be much of a problem. So James grabs a nut and bolt, and he speeds back to you, and he explains that, like, since the potion is sort of weird, you're gonna have to have some part of who you were. What do you grab?
Oh man, Tim starts digging through his desk. He actually keeps his workspace very tidy.
Uh-huh.
So he's kind of panicking. And he's like, I don't actually have... I just washed my coffee mug earlier. So, like, everything in his cubicle is really clean. And he's just like, oh, God, and panicking. And then he gets, like, a galaxy brain. Mm-hmm. And then he rushes over to Jane's cubicle, mm-hmm. and sitting on her desk is the Keurig he gave her earlier.
You're kidding me! Oh, I'm delighted! Because you know what that was? That was a peace offering! And you're taking it back!
He takes her, well, actually, he takes the Keurig, and then, he goes back to his desk, and he pulls out one of the fresh Keurigs that he has, and he trades it. And the Keurig that he had touched before, while his hands were, like, sweaty, and it had been in his pocket for a while, that one has, like, his hand oils and stuff on it, I guess, so it does have his DNA on it.
Absolutely.
But, he rips open a new package of Keurigs, and he takes one out, and then he puts it on her desk. He actually puts 3 on her desk in a little, like, triangle pyramid, and he writes her an IOU note, and then he runs back to the cauldron and continues his work.
All right. Not only did you manage to evade my subtle trap that I was weaving from a millisecond, but you also get part of your stuff. So you put all of the ingredients into the pot. I'm going to need you to go ahead and roll straight up magic.
Oh, wow. If this doesn't work, I'm just going to use my inspiration point.
Yes, please do.
How do I roll magic? What is my bonus to magic? I think it's 3, actually.
Yeah, it's +3, right?
Yeah, I think so.
That's what Shocking Grasp says.
Yeah. So, would this do it, or if it doesn't do it, I'm just going to use my inspiration point to get a d20.
I'm going to say you get a nat 20.
Yay!
Use your inspiration. This is important. You feel inspired.
Yeah.
So
that Keurig is just so beautiful.
You look at this Keurig and you're like, man, I really wanted this coffee.
Yeah.
So you put all the ingredients in and you magic it up. And, like, it actually smells surprisingly good, which makes you realize how bad the gunk that you're still sort of covered in smells. Like, it's subtle. So you didn't notice it until you had something good to compare it to.
Raspberry mocha.
But what you're in is a little grody.
Yep. Lime mocha is not as good.
Not as good. So I think the final problem is you have to find a way to split this into two, because otherwise, if you put both things into one cauldron, then you're both gonna, like, warp into two separate beings, part robot, part normal human, and, like, that's no good.
Cyborg!
I mean, Cyborg is cool, but it's not what you're going for.
Yeah, I'm just laughing. Okay, guess what? I have more cantrips.
Yes?
I have shape water.
Yes?
Like parting the Red Sea or the red goop, I guess. He casts shape water on the cauldron, which splits the potion into two halves. And, they aren't touching each other, so it's fine. And he's keeping that in his mind as he adds the nut and bolt to one side, and he adds the Keurig to the other.
Phenomenal. All right. You managed keeping James's side perfectly elevate. Drink your potion, your portion of the potion, and then you make sure that James is reciting the counterspell, and because you write it out in front of him, because he doesn't have to say this every single day as a reminder because it's company policy, because he's not a wizard.
It's like the Pledge of Allegiance, but instead it's the counterspell.
But only for wizards. Each
Only
class
for
has their
wizards.
own inane habit that they have to follow. And they're all equally as stupid after the 500th repeat.
Yeah.
Because, you know this better than you know the back of your hand at this point. You just recite it. So you drink your part, and you feel better. Like, you actually were just splashed, so you were sort of converted to anime protagonist, but you didn't realize, again, how grody you felt until there's better. You can still feel like the liquid on you, but you can tell, because you're a wizard, that it's completely inert now that you've drunk the potion.
Nice. I appreciate this.
Alright, I think I'm gonna finish wrapping this up. Oh, you're
I
back!
returned.
You're back! You're back just
I
in
returned with
time!
blood in my mouth. What did I miss? Oh no, this sounds distressing.
No, this
It's
is
okay.
excellent. I didn't want to wrap this up without you as the only thing.
We
No,
got
wait.
all the potion, and we managed to do it because it turns out all my spells are actually really helpful in the second half of the game. So
Except
boy.
for the invisible servant.
I wonder why.
okay, so he has made 2 portions of the potion, and he's already Tim has taken his, so he looks normal except for his hair is still blue for some goddamn reason. He doesn't know, but he just
Stats
he
have
offers.
returned to normal. His whole body type and shape and his eyes and his face places, it's all normal. It's just blue the way his normal hair looks.
Yep. It's like if someone just dyed their hair really lazily, but instead it's natural now. He has blue eyebrows and eyelashes.
Yes.
Beautiful. Is it blue number 5? Coral
Oh,
blue number
it's
5.
coral blue number 5. So, Tim, uses his mind and shape water, the cantrip, to move the portion of the potion that is, James's over to his currently human mouth.
I can do that myself, but I'd like to say, because this may be the last time I ever can say this goes wrong. On all accounts, this is a bad idea. And then he just takes him to chug.
You almost instantly feel so much better. See, Tim, he felt better because, everything was janky. It was like when your inner ear is weird and it won't pop
Very
and you're,
descriptive.
trying to yawn and you can't get it to pop. But for you, it was as if you were taken, ripped out of your body, and thrown into something completely foreign. And in an instant, you're just back. You feel wet and a little bit gross, and like the liquid's still on you, but it's not affecting you at all. You're fully back into your robotic body.
Jim just like shakes his head and like the stuff flies off. He's like, I did not. No. Well, that was not a pleasant experience.
Tim high fives him, and he's just like, "Oh yeah, we're not dead."
Don't.
What?
Stop. Do
Is
not
it because
jinx
I'm
this.
covered in goop? Because you're also covered in goop.
Do not jinx this. Do not jinx this. Do not jinx this.
I'm just glad that I'm not dead. You know, you can celebrate a little bit to kill you.
I'm celebrating on the inside, but please do not jinx this.
Alright. So, you want to go out for drinks after this?
And we leave! We leave with this pleasant scene of these two former complete acquaintances, now...
Friends? Question mark.
Friends? Question mark.
Friends? I suppose that's up to them, because, who knows? But we leave them, and as the credits start coming in and the ending music swells, just before the music gets fully onboarded, you finally hear somebody say, "Has anybody seen Tim and James? We need to talk to them real quick."
Dun dun dun!
And
Alright,
you don't know what happens next.
I love that.
Great.
Oh god.
And it's just like a freeze frame of them like both looking at the camera, just like, oh no.
Yes! That is exactly what happens. Thank you guys for both being so much fun to play with. I was honestly kind of worried because the last time I ran a game, it was a lot more tightly structured because I was following someone else's path. And this one, I had all of the beats planned out, but I was sort of winging it, and y'all were great.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you! I enjoyed the game a lot because you're very good at DMing.
Oh,
Yeah, no, this was... Yeah, you were great. This was amazing time.
You're a very
thanks.
good snail.
You have been one of the best DMs I've had. I haven't had many, but you're probably the best at it.
Exactly.
Thanks!
Oh no! We broke Snail!
Oh no! Oh no, my roll was too high. Oh no.
I'm just embarrassed! I
you
want to be good
embarrassed?
at this, so it's nice to hear that I am, but blah!
You're
You can't
so
be
good! You're a good
You can't be
snail!
embarrassed by the truth.
I can and I am!
You can't handle the truth!
I can't! Alright, thank you guys for joining us, and I've got to say...
Yes?
Are you gonna say anything?
This is a dramatic pause.
That's all, folks! Alright, I'm stopping the recording.
Alright.